Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a repetitive loop, doing the same tasks over and over again? These days, it's almost as if a kind of coding is being implanted in our minds, just like programming a robot's memory. In the same way, humans too are turning into machines, repeating the same routines endlessly without the desire or thought to do anything new or different. In today's audio summary, we'll uncover how to boost your productivity, explore the potential of your mind, and recognize the unintentional actions we often take, ones we should avoid. This book also shows us how to face such issues head-on. Through it, you can break free from the robotic way of living and start thinking and understanding like a real human being. It guides us on making better choices and overcoming the mental traps we often fall into. And friends, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, make sure to do that and take a step toward becoming a better version of yourself. So let's dive into the summary of this book. You must have heard it many times, that being among others makes us feel safe. But have you ever wondered why we feel insecure when we're alone? The reason lies in our ancestors. They survived by copying others in their group or by staying close to the group. For example, if you see an animal you've never seen before, but notice that others start running away from it, you instinctively start running too. That's what kept people alive. When there's an accident on the road, more and more people gather around. Even if you're just passing by, you feel the urge to stop and look. Logically, it doesn't benefit you, nor is it enjoyable, but still, you go because others are going. This is how we've come to believe that if many people do something or follow a certain idea, then it must be right. If all our friends start following a new trend or use a new website, we too begin to like it eventually. Marketers know this well, and they use this behavior to attract us. Not only that, but we also like thinking the way others do. Think of a classroom. When a student misbehaves and the teacher asks who did it, no one speaks up. Even those who want to go quiet after noticing that everyone else is silent. When your internet slows down, don't you find yourself clicking on the same link repeatedly? Ever thought about why we yell when frustrated? Do we believe shouting will somehow increase our power or speed things up? We want to feel in control, but in truth, very few things in life are actually under our control. For instance, when we're stuck in traffic, we keep honking. But does honking clear the jam? If that worked, traffic lights would have been replaced with loudspeakers by now. Some people call themselves experts and claim they can predict the future. But when the predictions of 284 experts were analyzed over 10 years, it was found they were only slightly more accurate than a machine's guess. This clearly shows that not everything is within our power. So why not focus only on those things we can control? Now, think. Why did you fail the last time? What caused your success the last time you achieved something? Most of us credit our own talent and hard work for success, but when we fail, we often blame the situation or other people. It's always not my fault. Take a look at the stats. 84% of people in France believe they're better than average. In the US, 33% of people think they're above average. At the University of Nebraska, the same number holds true. Interestingly, 50% believe they're above average in medicine, and 93%, yes, 93%, believe they're better than others in driving. In one study, people were ranked on their personalities. If they received high scores in a certain area, they said the test was accurate. But if they got low scores, they claimed the test was flawed. This shows one thing clearly. We tend to overestimate our capabilities. If you really want to know your potential, ask an honest friend for feedback. Only then will you see where you truly stand. It's human nature to be drawn to people who think like us. We often become close to those who share similar views. Even in politics, if your friend supports the same party, your bond becomes stronger. If not, the friendship may not last. We also prefer watching news or content that aligns with our views. For example, if you believe health is purely genetic and not everyone can be fit, you'll keep searching until a website confirms your belief. We seek what we want to see. We absorb tons of information daily, but subconsciously ignore or reject anything that doesn't fit our beliefs. Many people believe in astrology and horoscopes, not because they're specific, but because the statements are broad and relatable. There's always a chance that what's written in a horoscope might happen once in your life, and people hold on to that. Each time they see a horoscope prediction coming true, their belief in it grows stronger. To avoid falling into these patterns, it's important to expose yourself to ideas that challenge your own beliefs. Try to understand opposing viewpoints and see if there's any truth to them. Who doesn't enjoy movies? Many people watch one every day, even if it adds no value to their life, and they remain caught in that loop. But ask them to read a book for just 30 minutes daily, and most of them won't. Deep down, they know that reading can significantly improve them, yet they still won't commit to it. Why does this happen? Because we're wired to consume entertainment. When someone is killed, newspapers don't focus on what the police were doing or how society allowed such things to happen. Instead, they present the news like a story, dramatic and gripping. This storytelling sells papers. That's what news media know and use to draw readers in. We also tend to believe in things that are unlikely to happen. For example, if you're about to take an exam and someone says the paper might be leaked, your mind accepts that possibility instantly. You don't stop to think it might not be leaked, because the idea of it being leaked feels dangerous, and fear makes it more believable. Doctors deal with something similar. The symptoms of rare and dangerous illnesses often look like those of a common fever, but doctors are taught to rule out the common diseases first, before jumping to conclusions about the rare ones. We also find greater value in things that are rare or limited. Ever wondered why gold and diamonds are so expensive? Because they're hard to find. The fewer people who can access something, the more special the users seem. This idea is used in marketing all the time. You've seen offers that say, limited time only, and we rush toward them fearing we might miss out. We also tend to compare things to judge their worth. You've heard the phrase, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. It means that someone with just a little knowledge seems brilliant when surrounded by those who know nothing. This concept was shown in an experiment. One bucket had ice-cold water, the other had lukewarm water. People were told to dip one hand in the cold water, then both hands into the lukewarm one. Surprisingly, they said the hand that was in the cold water felt much warmer in the lukewarm water. It's all about contrast. We experience this in daily life. When we see the same product at two different prices, we assume the more expensive one must be better. But in truth, price often has little to do with quality. Now, do you believe you can multitask? If yes, you're mistaken. Our brain can truly focus on only one thing at a time. You can't listen to two conversations simultaneously, nor can you focus deeply on two separate things at once. A Harvard study proved this. In one study, students were shown a video where people passed a basketball to one another. Viewers were asked to count how many times players in white shirts passed the ball. While they focused on that, a person dressed like a gorilla entered the frame, beat their chest, and left. Most students didn't even notice it. Their attention was so locked in that they missed the obvious. Our attention works in mysterious ways. For example, after a long speech or a book, we tend to remember the beginning and the ending more than the middle. Try this right now. Think back on this summary and see which parts you recall most. Likely, it's the start and the end. That's how memory functions. Though if you read or listen to something for a long time, you might remember the middle better too. When we hear something quickly, we often recall the last part more clearly. Many people believe humans are rational beings, creatures who think and analyze. While we do have this ability, we rarely use it to its full potential. Most of the time, when we label something as good or bad, we're just reacting to our personal experience. If we had a bad experience, we say it's bad, without evaluating the bigger picture. Before making any decision, we should list out the pros and cons, not just for ourselves, but for society as a whole. But most of us skip this. Take packaged food, for instance. Just hearing the term brings either positive or negative feelings to mind. You might think that packaged food is filled with harmful chemicals made in factories, but what you may not realize is that many such products go through strict quality testing before reaching the market. They can actually be quite beneficial if used wisely. Often, the first thought that pops into our minds becomes our decision. This kind of thinking can be dangerous, especially for people in positions of judgment like court judges. That's why, in a courtroom, both sides present their arguments through lawyers, so that a balanced, thoughtful decision can be made. A judge decides after hearing both sides, but we often decide based on how someone looks or how much they praise us. Ever noticed why movie heroes always look smart and villains often look ugly? That's no accident. Filmmakers know we naturally prefer attractive faces. We tend to trust people who look good. Even in interviews, the more appealing candidate often gets selected. In schools too, students who look better sometimes get more attention or better marks. It's not new. Our ancestors were like this too. We're drawn to people who resemble us or flatter us, and this is exactly what smart salespeople use. They'll say, "Sir, this looks amazing on you." They mirror your gestures, your speech, your vibe, and it works. Why? Because we trust people who seem like us. But when we're given too many choices, our brain freezes. We want to make the best choice, but that pressure makes decision-making even harder. We fear making the wrong call, especially if our friends end up choosing something better. In one experiment, shoppers were shown a few shades of nail polish. Most picked one. But when more shades were added, fewer people bought anything at all. Our minds get stuck comparing every little detail, and we end up with nothing. Another study had two groups. One group had to choose between products. The other just had to describe them. Afterward, both groups were asked to put their hands in ice water. Those who had made a choice gave up sooner. Why? Because making decisions drains your mental energy. So what's the solution? Let go of the idea that there's always a best option. Focus on what you need. Choose what suits you, not what others think is best. We often overestimate ourselves too. If you really want to know your strengths and weaknesses, ask a close friend. Honest feedback will show you where you truly stand. And beware of the limited time offer trap. The fear of missing out is powerful, but the truth is, most things will be available again. Don't let those flashy signs fool you. At the end of the day, we operate more from feelings than logic. We can only focus on one thing at a time. We follow the crowd, imitate others, and enjoy hearing praise. We gravitate toward things that already match our beliefs. If you enjoyed this book summary, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you for listening.